you came from the nonprofit world, right? ManUp, private sector.
Yes, sir.
And now you're in a government role.
Yeah.
Or you was appointed.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's very unique. How did you enter into the political arena? And it seems like council member
Yes, sir. Barron
got you there.
He did. I know council member before he too was a council member.
Yeah.
He was just a real model to me. I didn't have role models. These men, like today's mayor, today's council member, because he's still a council member right now, these guys were real examples to me, real models to me. So when they entered into this realm, I was right there with them. And again, I love to learn. So I'm studying the whole thing, like watching the whole thing go down, paying attention. And so under Council Member Barron, you know, I learned a lot about the politics. And I think I was blessed to learn about, because, you know, I was a young person. I wasn't into politics, man. Yeah. You know, I was like, yo, we don't get down with that. But after studying Malcolm in prison, you know, studying so many greats and Martin Luther King and all of that, you get an understanding of what they talk about, like local politics. I'm always focused on how we change the conditions in our neighborhood versus, remember I talked about what I seen out my window? That's what I was like being educated on about politics. By seeing these great leaders changing the conditions in our own neighborhoods. We wasn't even focusing on the presidential level. We said that, you know, I wasn't there yet. I was focusing on what's happening in my own backyard. Yeah. And I was groomed by these greats, and really more with Councilmember Barron, because I had an opportunity to work with him alongside of him. I rose to become his chief of staff. I rose to the ranks and became the chief of staff to his office. So I got a lot of pre-experience of working in City Hall prior. And then when the mayor tapped me to come into this role, I was already familiar with a lot of these folks and a lot of the movements in terms of how, you know, the government operates. It wasn't like a total nuance, and Mayor Adams knew that.
Thank you to Mayor Adams for naming me to be the gun violence prevention czar in New York City.
You know, my prior experience in working in the city council and helped me now, you know, elevate the work to this next level.
Brother Eric, it's like these men that you had around you, Charles Barron, it's like you were like a sponge and you just soaked up everything that they were doing.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that's amazing.
It was great, men and women too. I want to say I was blessed, man. Yeah. His wife, you know, Inez Barron. Man, I met some of the greats. I learned as a young person, Viola Plummer. These are some of the other great women leaders. But I was very blessed. Dr. Karen Daughtry, you know, who's the wife of Reverend Dr. Herbert Daughtry. All of these folks I had the privilege of working alongside of and being able to, like you said, soak up as much of that experience and knowledge. You know, it was that honor that they poured it out onto me too, because they knew it wasn't in vain. You know, I wasn't just taking notes just to be taken for the sake of taking notes. I was literally, you know, adopting the teachings that they all knew, and I was applying it. And I think I was just awaiting my turn to be able to really showcase what we can do, you know, with this knowledge. And so, yeah, they were great role models for me. And now, you know, I'm doing the same thing, you know, with young brothers like yourself and sisters. Yeah. And I'm hopeful. I'm very optimistic. As a matter of fact, I know that you all are going to do great things with that same knowledge. And, you know, we add your generational spice to it, you know, and it's going to be a perfect, you know, sort of formula. Yeah. And you guys, you know, y'all ladies, y'all young people are going to do great with it. So I'm just, you know, I know I'm in good hands.
Yeah.